Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome to CyberPulse Podcast. Have you ever wondered what it takes to build a successful career across multiple industries and still find time for your personal passions? Well, today I'm joined by Michael Morgan, a seasoned leader whose career spans from financial services, oil and gas, technology, and retail. Michael's journey has taken him from New York to California and beyond, building success across industries while balancing personal achievements in fitness, travel, lifelong learning. He's here to share the lessons that have shaped his career and life and how you can apply them to your own goals. Welcome to our podcast, Michael.
Thank you, Justin. I appreciate you having me as a guest on your show today.
Yes, we're all glad to have you on board here. Share with us what motivates you to pursue such a diverse path in your life and the choices that shaped your journey to now.
Yeah, I would say for diverse path, I talk to people about this all the time. You don't know what you like or what you're good at unless you try it. So a lot of people that I speak to, they've been in financial services for 20 years. They've been in oil and gas for 20 years, 30 years, and they've seen me pivot and they're like, "Oh, I don't think I can make that pivot. I'm too niche. I've been pigeonholed in this for so long." And my background, I do operation strategy. I can apply my knowledge and my skill set at any company, at any industry, but I won't know if I enjoy financial services versus oil and gas versus retail versus tech versus cybersecurity if I don't at least try. So I feel by putting myself in situations where it's uncomfortable and I'm working in a brand new company, new industry that I've never worked in before, but still able to be successful. But I'm willing to put in that effort to make those transitions. So I have a set of transferable skills that I can bring anywhere. I have my leadership skills, my analytical skills, my communication skills, my teamwork skills, my ability to influence others. I can get up to speed on an industry. I can attend conferences, I can join organizations, I can read books, I can find ways to get up to date and acclimated in an industry, in a company. But I'm making sure that I'm setting myself up for success and I'm trying different things so I can figure out where I want to be long term. But I don't like having can't in your vocabulary where people say, "Oh, I can't pivot and do this or do that." Like, you don't know what you can or can't do if you don't at least try.
I love how you said that's so powerful. No, it's like a mindset shift because so many people they get stuck where they are and they get so afraid to go outside of what they do in fear of it's going to change who they are or nothing's going to be out there for them. I love how you said that because it's so important for people to understand that you can do anything you put your mind to, but you have to give yourself that chance. You have to give it, kind of let go of what you know to find what you don't know. Very well said.
Absolutely.
How, how did you find out about that? Because I know most people, like you were saying, will get stuck in a certain job, a certain mindset, and just keep doing that one thing for their whole life, which I don't understand that to me because I like change. But people get stuck in that. How did you find your way out of that and realize that you can transfer what you're doing to another industry? Like, how did you, what was that? What was going on in your mind around that?
Yeah. So one, I've been able to leverage my network. So I've worked with people, whether it's at different companies, whether it's at school. People know what I bring to the table, and I'll speak with them. I'll have conversations to get a feel. Okay, is this a company that I can see myself fitting in with? Do I fit in the corporate culture? Do I think I can excel in this industry? What do you think that an individual needs to be successful, to be able to work in oil and gas, to be able to work in tech, to be able to work in retail? So I'm able to leverage my network, and speaking with them, my network has given me a lot of confidence. When I speak with people in my network, they say, "You're more than capable of making the jump over here. Not only am I willing to help you with interview preparation, not only am I able to provide you with referrals, but I'm giving you the confidence because when I joined this company and when I joined this industry, I didn't have that much knowledge and I've been able to be successful. And there's no reason that you can't do the same." So
Ooh, I like that.
being able to leverage my network has really helped me. And then, like I said, I just have the mindset where I know the skill sets that I bring to the table. Yes, I may be new to a company, I may be new to an industry, but I have ways that I can get up to speed on that aspect. But like I said, there's things that you can't teach. You can't teach someone how to be a leader, or you can't teach someone like certain skill set. And I know I'm going to bring that to the table. So I'm going to be effective at what I bring to the table, and I'm going to continue to develop myself to make sure I'm a strong asset for that particular company or that particular industry.
Ooh, that is so powerful, man. Thank you for sharing that. Because, I mean, as I was growing up, I've gone to a lot of different companies and I've pivoted so much, but that kind of came naturally to me. But I see people out there, they're here, they want to get here, but they haven't learned how to let go of what they're doing right now to actually build something else different, try something different. Like how you said, leveraging your network, because I have been finding that when you start networking and talking to people like yourself, you learn new things, you learn new skills, you learn how to do new things. Having this podcast, and like you said, when you leverage your network, like people don't understand that you don't know everything, you can't do everything. You need to rely on other people's skills to get you from A to B. Like what you know make you from A to B, but not get you from B to C. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. I tell people the same thing all the time. I don't claim to know everything. I don't think anybody knows everything. But if you're surrounding yourself with the right people that can give you that guidance, tutelage, or at least point you in the right direction, it can make a world of difference. So you definitely want to put yourself in situations where you can meet new people, expand your network, make sure the people that are already in your network, you're putting your best foot forward to maintain those connections with them. But I've said it throughout my career, your network is critical for your success.
I'm learning that myself still. I'm working on building mine. And I realize it's a skill you have to learn to build a network. How to communicate with people, how to talk with them, how to make sure you're talking with the right people in the right rooms at the right time. That's like new to me. I'm like, what does this mean? I can't just go up and have a conversation with someone and then forget about them for 6 months. What? Come on. I find that hard to like remember to follow up, remember to nourish that network of people. It's hard sometimes, but you get caught up in life and stuff. What are some of the things that you do to really keep in contact with your network that you leverage?
Yeah, so I use a few different tools. So for one, I like to use a spreadsheet. That's me personally. Every company that I've worked for, I may keep a list of 3 to 5 people that I felt like were influential for me, that were mentors, managers. And in my spreadsheet, I'll list their name, their email, their phone number. I'll have tidbits of information about them. What are their hobbies? What are their interests? What about their personal lives? Are they married? Do they have kids? And then I'll have a column that's called date last contacted. So periodically, I'll open the spreadsheet and I'll look through it. And if I see I haven't talked to someone on that spreadsheet in 6 months or in a year, that's a trigger for me where, okay, I need to reach out to this person. Let me send them an email. Let me give them a phone call. So the spreadsheet has been very helpful for me. I also find opportunities where I have downtime where I can just easily reach out to people via phone calls or text. So, as an example, when I used to live in California, I lived in Oakland. My office was in San Bruno. It was about an hour and a half commute one way to work. So I'm spending 3 hours on a train a day. I'm trying to be productive with my time. So when I'm on the train, I'm pulling up my phone and I'm scrolling through my contacts. And if I see someone that I haven't talked to in a while, that's a trigger for me. Let me send this person a text message. Let me give this person a phone call. So I'm not just spending 3 hours on a train and listening to music and watching videos. Let me be productive. Same thing. I love to travel. Sometimes I travel for work. Sometimes I travel for personal reasons. And I like to show up to the airport early. I don't like being stressed out. I don't want to be anxious about missing a flight. So I'll get there early. And when I'm at the airport early, I have nothing but time. Once again, I could just sit there and listen to music. I could watch videos. I could scroll on social media. I look at it as an opportunity to maintain my network. So I'm scrolling through my contacts and say, oh, I haven't talked to this person in a while. Let me give them a phone call. I haven't talked to this person in a while. Let me send them a text. And even when I use social media, I think social media is great. I see a lot of
Yeah.
people go on social media, they'll add people, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform, they'll add people. And then if someone makes a post, they just hit the like button. They're like, oh, yeah, they're part of my network. I added them years ago. And every time they
Imagine.
make a post, I click the like button. I try to get people off of social media. So I'll be on, let's take LinkedIn, for example. If I see someone make a post and let's say they just started a new job at a new company, or they just got a promotion, or maybe they just got married, maybe they have kids, I'll send them a message and say, hey, congratulations. I saw that you just started a new job. I'm so happy for you. We haven't caught up in a while. Do you have any free time in the next couple of weeks for a phone call or for a video call? So I'm not just hitting the like button. I'm finding an opportunity to get off of social media for us to actually get on the phone or hopefully meet in person. And in my opinion, nothing replaces that face-to-face interaction.
Does not. No.
So I understand everyone isn't physically located in the same city as me or the same state as me, so I can't physically meet with everybody in person as much as I'd like to. So it's great that I can leverage video conference calls and phone calls. But whenever possible, I'm trying to meet with people face to face, and that really helps build and maintain a relationship as well.
I feel like you're yelling at me right now. Oh, talking to me. Because this is exactly like what I've been kind of struggling with myself. And like how you said, using the spreadsheet to keep track. For me, I'd probably take that a step further because I have so much going on and probably add like, okay, this person, me add a calendar reminder to remind me in like 3 weeks or 2 weeks. This guy, I might forget about it knowing me. But you have that really dialed in. You have that habit and that discipline for doing that. I know for most of us that would take some time to really establish, especially with everything else we have going on in our lives. I guess we said we gotta start somewhere.
Yeah,
That is
absolutely. And
amazing. I'm like taking notes right now of this because I
yeah,
find myself clicking on like buttons, and then I click and I'm like, I know I need to engage more, and I want to, but I get distracted by shiny objects again. By the time I come back to it, it's like their birthday or something. I haven't sent a message. I haven't like reached out. But I love how you said to reach out and bring them away from social media, bring them out into the real world, have like a human connection with them. That is so hard nowadays, but it's something so real that I know I'm struggling with. I'm pretty many people out there are struggling with also. What is it that was in your mind that you're like, you know what? This is what I'm going to focus on to help better connections. How did that like kind of start with you?
yeah, I would
Yeah.
say it started pretty early in my career. So when I went to Penn State undergrad, and my first role out of college was with JP Morgan. And I'm a part of fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. And I put together an event on campus at Penn State where I brought in representatives from JP Morgan to talk to some of the students on campus. And it's an opportunity for them to meet potential candidates. It's an opportunity for students to network with a company they may want to work for. And some of my fraternity brothers who were already at JP Morgan found out about the event that I put together. So, like, one of them reached out to me. He asked me about my interest in working at JP Morgan, had I thought about the company. And at the time, I'm still trying to figure out where I want to go next, once I graduate. So, I had the conversation with him. He took my resume, he tailored it for the role. He helped me with interview preparation. And this is just off the strength of being in the same fraternity, the same organization. And when I ended up getting the offer with JP Morgan, I got an offer in Delaware. I'd never lived in Delaware. I'd never been in Delaware before the interview. He connected me with another person in my fraternity who received the same offer and was starting in the same program as me. So now, yeah, I'm in a new city, a new state, but I'm not by myself. I'm with someone else who we can figure things out together. And then there was a whole group of people in my fraternity that worked for JP Morgan in the New York office, in Ohio office, in Delaware, in Florida. And we would have quarterly calls where we would check up on each other and provide each other support so we're all successful in our roles. So immediately hitting the ground running with my first job out of college, I was like, oh wow, this is networking. My network has helped me get my foot in the door and be successful in my role and help me transition to a brand new city, state, So not only does this help you with like my work career, this helped me with my personal life. It's hard to move to a new city, new state. Not everyone can do that. So I realized very quickly the power of networking and the importance of it and how critical it is to help get your foot in the door with companies, to help make you excel in your roles, to help you acclimate to new places and environments that you don't know. And that's when, I mean, I still have strong connections with my fraternity brothers, but then I'm like, okay, I really need to network. Now I need to expand and find ways to meet other people as well. How can I build a stronger network within the company? How can I build a stronger network outside the company? And that has been fruitful for my success throughout my career, but I've realized the importance of it really early in my career.
That is amazing. And I wouldn't like just looking back on stuff. I'm like, wow, to be able to network with people can change your life. To be able to keep in touch with people, it can change their lives. Like I know, like most of us don't even have that understanding of, or even know how to talk with people anymore. It seems like now we're really disconnected from each other. So to learn that that was the what you experienced with that, this is such an amazing thing that you bring to the table that really help people understand and really try and to start networking and having conversations and talking with people more and then keeping track of it. Like that, like you said, we're on social media so much now that we're on a Zoom call, a podcast, but we're not in person. We're not connecting anymore. It's almost like we're losing that skill and what that means anymore. But for having you come to the table, telling us about that and like teaching us more about that, I mean, this is like invaluable because networking is so powerful. I'm learning to have conversations with a human being.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. I talked about my experience from my first role out of college. My current role right now is all based on networking. I'm I'm new in the cybersecurity industry. I just joined cybersecurity 2 years ago. I work at a company called Netscope. I used to work for a manager at Amazon Web Services 7, 8 years ago, and we kept in touch over the years. And 2 years ago, he reached out because we've kept in touch over the years. He made the transition from Amazon to Netscope, and he told me about an opportunity to join Netscope and thought I was a perfect fit. And I mean, he keeping a relationship with someone for 8 years. I didn't know that he would be joining Netscope and join the cybersecurity industry. I didn't know that he would reach out to me about an opportunity, but you don't know what doors may open based off connections that you have.
that's so true.
So it's critical that you're putting your best foot forward and you're putting yourself in a situation where you can meet people and not only meet new people to add to your network, but you're putting in the effort to maintain it. It's going to be critical both for your career success, but just in your personal life in general.
I cannot agree more with that. It's very powerful, especially like with cybersecurity, how you brought that up. It's like I've been in that IT and cybersecurity field for so long. That a lot of people in that field don't really have people skills. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to connect or talk with people. They're always behind the computers. And I feel like this is so valuable, especially like based upon how you said to find a job or to talk with your leaders or your family, you need those basic communication skills. That's it with cybersecurity, especially when you're talking with customers or clients and trying to explain stuff to them. You really need to know how to talk to them the proper way and communicate with them. You communicate with everyone so differently, especially with technology, because there's so many words out there no one understands.
Yeah, exactly. There's always acronyms, lingo. It can get difficult, so it's good to have people. So you a lot of times I'm in a meeting and they say an acronym I don't know. I'm like, hey,
What is
can
that? Hold
you
on. Okay, I know what that means now.
exactly?
What made you want to get into cybersecurity from everything else? It's not necessarily different because how you mentioned that you can go to any job, but cybersecurity is kind of a beast in itself. What made you say cybersecurity? Hell yeah.
So I would say two things. So for cybersecurity specifically, we're moving more and more towards the cloud. The cloud isn't going anywhere. People are working more remote. People are working more hybrid. So like we are dependent on the cloud. And as we're becoming more dependent on the cloud, there's more of a need for cybersecurity so that we're using it safely, securely. And when people are accessing their company's database and information, they're getting the right accesses that they need and they're being protected anytime they upload information, anytime they download information. How can we make sure this is as secure as possible? So I'm signed up for a bunch of newsletters, and I don't know about you. I feel like every day I see a data breach, and this company's losing millions of dollars, and that company has lost this many customers' account information. So I don't see cybersecurity going anywhere. I don't see cloud going anywhere. I don't see cybersecurity going anywhere. So I see it as an industry that is only rising, and there's just tons of opportunities. And these companies that are in cybersecurity, if they just focus on people who have a cybersecurity background or like computer science background, they're not going to have enough people to hire to meet their needs. They have to look outside the box. So there's just a lot of opportunities to get into the industry. The second piece, and this isn't cybersecurity specific, but I'm with a company that's technically a startup. So Netscope has been around for over 12 years. It has 2,500 employees, but it hasn't IPO'd. For me, I've only worked for huge companies. I worked for Amazon, Walmart, JP Morgan, Chevron. Once again, this was an opportunity for me to try something new, try something different. I can be with a smaller company, take some of the knowledge, learnings that I've had from working at these large multinational companies and make more of an impact for a
Ooh.
company like Netscope. So the combination of those two, where I don't see cybersecurity and cloud going anywhere, and this opportunity for me to try something new, where I'm not only working for the biggest companies, Fortune 500 companies in the world. Let me try to work for a smaller company and see if I like one versus the other. Would I prefer to work with these larger companies or smaller companies, startups?
Smaller.
Back to yeah, smaller. Back to our point earlier, I don't know what I like if I don't try. I've only worked for huge companies that have 100,000 plus employees. So it's a different experience for me to figure out where do I want us to work long term.
I really like how you said that. And but especially with cybersecurity, it's a challenge, and it's one of those really challenging jobs. There's not just like go to work every day, everything's going to be the same. Everything's going to be different. New challenges, new people. It's just a constant changing. I mean, that's what I enjoy it so much. It's not just the same monotonous things going on every day. So everything is changing. The ways you have to look at things, think about things inside the box, outside the box, without the box. It's a challenge, It's like you were saying earlier. There's a huge need for people in that field too. They are short a lot of people. Most people feel that it's all technical, but a lot of it's not technical. A lot of these skills people can learn themselves without a non-technical background. But people, like you said, they don't take the time and realize, like you said, that they have to try something new. I feel a lot of people would love cyber because it really gets the brain moving. You're actually doing something. You're not just sitting there meshing at the keyboard, doing monotonous things necessarily, depending on what part you're in. But we need to get out there and experience life more, have something challenging in our lives.
Exactly.
What is some good advice you can give someone who's out there struggling? Say, here's a synopsis. They're at some 9 to 5 job. They go there every day, but they're just kind of miserable. But they're just doing what they're supposed to, doing what they're told. But they don't know that there's more out there. They don't know that they can pivot. They don't know, but they don't know. What is some good advice you could give someone like that to help them understand that you can know more, you can do more, you have the world out there?
Yeah, I would say a couple things. One, I'm big on professional development. So I challenge people to identify relevant trainings, certifications that they can take to continue to grow, develop, books that they can read. Like there's different ways that you can challenge yourself so you're not just doing, like you said, the monotonous 9 to 5 and you're staying within a box. Continue to challenge yourself even throughout my career. I'm taking tons of trainings, I'm taking tons of certifications. In my career, I've attained Lean Sigma Black Belt certification, project management professional certification, Tableau desktop specialist certification, contract and commercial management certification. Make sure you're pushing yourself. Find time to challenge yourself. That's how you continue to grow. That's how you continue to develop. So I would say one, that focus on professional development is really critical. Two, mentorship. We've talked about this earlier. Nobody knows everything. If you can identify a mentor that can broaden your horizons and show you perspectives, or maybe you didn't consider working in this industry, maybe you didn't consider working in this function before, but now you're speaking with somebody and based off their experiences, now it's opened up a light bulb for you. Like, oh, maybe that is a path forward. So identify mentors. Mentors are critical. A lot of companies have formalized mentorship programs that you can apply for, where you fill out a profile and list what your strengths are, what your areas for opportunity, what you're looking for in a mentorship relationship, and they'll naturally pair you up. Even if your company doesn't have that, find opportunities to organically meet people, whether it's at your company. I've been in work meetings, I've been a part of projects. I'll work on a team with somebody that I look up to, I admire, I see they're a subject matter expert. I may pull them to the side after a meeting and say, hey, I really value your knowledge and insight and tutelage. If you have the time and capacity, I'd love to be a mentee and have a mentor relationship with you. And most people are flattered when I ask. I'd say 9 times out of 10, when I've asked people to be my mentor, they've accepted, they were flattered. The one time I had someone push back, they just had a lot on their plate, their workload. They were already mentoring 3 people. And even then, they didn't just say, hey, I'm not going to be your mentor. They connected me with someone else to be my mentor.
Ooh.
So you got to ask the questions, because you just don't know if you don't ask. So I'll say mentorship is very big. I like to go to conferences as well. I think conferences are huge. I go to a different conference at least once a year. So I've been to National Black MBA, I've been to Afrotech, Grace Hopper, Salesforce Conference, Tableau, Association of Latin Professionals of America, Lesbians Who Tech. I've been to any conference you can think of, Innotech, Cybersecurity. So these are opportunities for you to meet other individuals who may have different career paths than you, and you can learn from them, and it might open your like broaden your horizons about opportunities you didn't think about before. And not only can you network at conferences, they have keynote speakers you can learn from, they have breakout sessions, so there's also learning opportunities, which ties back in what I was saying with professional development. But these are all different mechanisms where you can find about different opportunities that you may not have initially considered. Maybe you thought your career would just be finance, or maybe you thought it would just be marketing, maybe you thought it would just be consulting. And until you push yourself to take some of these trainings and certifications and read these books and attend these conferences and get these mentors, and now you're like, oh, there's so many more opportunities. I don't have to be in this niche area. I don't have to be in this lane. I can venture out into different places and do different things. But you have to put in the effort. And if you're not willing to
Do
take
the
those
work.
steps, you just won't know.
I love that. You just gotta, like you said, you gotta take the first step. You gotta do the work. People think things are just gonna come like out of left field. Like it's gonna come to me. It's gonna happen. I promise. But not unless you take a foot forward into the right direction and surround yourself with the right people. Like you said, get a mentor. I like that. Now, I had a few of my friends I've helped mentor a little bit with cybersecurity as well, kind of getting them started. It's an amazing feeling, and it helps you brush up on stuff and learn as well. You're learning, teaching them. They're learning from going back and forth and banter with the information. It's really fun and a great feeling. And it's okay to have multiple coaches too and mentors, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, so
Don't
like
limit yourself.
yeah, I've had mentors at every company I've worked for. So Amazon, JP Morgan, Walmart, Chevron. Just because I leave a company doesn't mean they're no longer my mentor. I still keep in touch with people. There are things that I can still learn from people. You work in a different function, you work in a different industry, but doesn't mean I can't learn from you, and we can't learn from each other. So
Right.
yeah, you can definitely continue to maintain those relationships.
I love that because I know a lot of companies I've worked for, I've never really had a mentor at most companies. A lot of times I've had like this thing with a lot of people who are kind of above me where they're like, oh, well, we know this, just read this and do this work and then we'll help you have any questions. But they're not really there to really guide, to really help or maintain the relationship. They're just like, well, I'm too busy. Here's a book. It's kind of unfortunate. But at the same time, I look back on that. I don't think I had the right mindset where I was fully pushing and learning and understanding that I needed to do the work also. I was looking like, oh, well, tell me what to do. Tell me the information. Tell me where it is. I had that mentality, not a let me learn from you. Let me actually take my own steps to do this work and get there myself. If I have questions, I'll ask you. So that's kind of like a big mindset shift that I've had to learn around not just cyber, but anything that I've been doing in my life, building this business, podcast, having conversations with amazing people like yourself about these things.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. One of the things I tell people all the time, you manage your career. So I know a lot of people, and I get it, your manager is your biggest advocate, but people just let the career, like put the career in the manager's hands and whatever happens, happens. And it's no, like it's your career. If there's certain things that you want to work on, make sure you're bringing it up and having those discussions. Don't just wait for your manager to give you work. If you identify a problem, you can, or an area, say, hey, I have a passion in this. I'd love to work in this as well. Is it okay if I talk to these teams? Is it okay if I take on this project? Is it okay? Like, make sure you're having that back and forth discussion. Same thing with mentors. You own your career. It's your responsibility to identify a mentor. It's your responsibility to make the most out of a mentor relationship. So a lot of people just kind of sit back and let things happen and assume that it's up to their manager to drive their career. And that's not the case. It's up to you to drive your career.
Percent. It reminds me there are people like they watch a lot of podcasts, they read a lot of books, they do all this learning, but then they're not actually taking action and realizing, okay, I learned all this stuff, but now I need to go take action on the stuff that I learned. They're kind of not understanding that I'm the part of this equation that's not really making sense yet. I love how you put that. They have to take immediate action. It seems like a lot of people don't want to take action a lot nowadays. It's hard for a lot of people. But then again, the bar is set so low. So if you just do a little bit, you're already above like most of the people already.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, I completely agree. One of my favorite quotes is that the 1% improvement every day. If you're putting your best foot forward and you're just having those incremental improvements, like I said, you're putting in the effort every single day, every single week. It may seem small, but imagine where you'll be in 6 months. Imagine where you'll be in a year. Imagine where you'll be in 5 years. So yes, it's incremental progress, but if you continue to push forward and put in that work that other people aren't, you will see tremendous effects down the road. So you have to put in that time and effort.
100%. It took me a while to understand that those incremental things is what builds the discipline. Those are what builds the mindset. I always thought, oh, I don't have the mindset. I can't do this. Or it has to be all at once. But like you said, incremental, it builds that up, the discipline, the mindset, and over time, like you said, builds to where you want to go. Just kind of take it slow and just do something. Just do it.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about your fitness as well. How do you stay fit? How do you look at your fitness when you're staying at a desk all day?
So you actually brought up a great point earlier when you talked about the calendar. I
Yeah.
love to leverage a calendar. So I work out 4 to 5 times a week. I'm a big fan of CrossFit. I set my alarm on my calendar, my work calendar. I block out from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. And every day I wake up at 5:30. I'm at the gym at 6, and then I'm done by 7. I come home, shower, get dressed. I'm ready to start my workday by 7:30, 8 o'clock. So by having it on my calendar, one, it's blocking it out so that other people can't try to schedule meetings or anything. That's my time to focus on my fitness. And then I like to get things done early. So you know how things go with the workday. You may have this mindset, oh, I'm going to work until 5 o'clock and then I'm going to shut down and I'll be in the gym at 5:30. I'll be at the gym at 6 o'clock. Things change during the workday. Like like you said, every day is different.
I
So
thought it was Monday, it's Thursday. So yeah.
yeah, and I work with a global organization. So sometimes I may have early morning calls with Europe. Sometimes I may have evening calls with Asia, with India, and I get pulled into things all the time. And it's hard for me to say my workday will end exactly at 5 o'clock and that will give me time to go to the gym at 6 or 7 or whatever have you. My preference, if I don't have an early meeting scheduled with Europe or some other team that may be in a different location, my calendar is already blocked out, and I'm making sure I get up and I commit myself to going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. But putting it on my calendar holds me accountable. And then I have friends at the gym as well. And, I'll go in the gym, I'll work out on Monday. And when I'm leaving, I'll say, hey, I'll see you tomorrow, right? They're like, oh, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Like, we hold each other accountable. I know
You'll
what
be
their
here.
goals are. Yeah, I know what their goals are. I know how many times they expect to be in the gym per week. They know how many times I expect to be in the gym per week. And we push each other. We hold each other accountable. So a combination of one, me leveraging my calendar to block it out, to hold me accountable. Two, me having people in my network to hold me accountable. And three, honestly, this is my thoughts, but if your physical health and your mental health are in a good place, it's going to make you that much more productive to be effective in your job and in your role.
Hell yeah, it is.
So I'm trying to make sure that I'm taking care of myself so I can be better at doing my job.
God, that was so well said. I have those similar habits. I've noticed that if you don't go to the gym one day, everything's a little foggy. It's a little off. You're so used to that going there and like getting the strength from working out to take care of your job and your family. I love how you said put it on your calendar, holding yourself accountable, having people that hold you accountable. If that's what a lot of us we need to be held accountable, or at least there's some kind of standard. Because right now there's a lot of us that have no standard and no accountability, and just trying to build that slowly and using the tools that you have in front of you to do that. Because fitness, like you said, it's such a amazing thing to have in your life, and it helps you get through your life, your job, and just makes your brain less foggy.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Preach it.
you know how it is with the stresses of the job. I feel like that's my stress relief. I can go to the gym and I can work out and I'll feel just that much more satisfied, productive, and I'm ready to start the day. So it's to me, it's a great outlet.
Right? You're sitting there all day for 8 to 15 hours. And that's the other thing. A lot of us need to get away from that mindset. Oh, I only work 9 to 5 and that's it. That's kind of the first mindset that needs to go, because you're working until you feel that you've accomplished something. Because, like your job, for example, you could be working from, like you said, from 7 to 7 at night. You don't know. You got to make sure you schedule things appropriately. But it's hard sometimes, man.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
definitely
hard.
definitely hard.
Yeah. But as long as you have that discipline there, it doesn't mean you have to do it every day, but make sure you are basically trying to do it every day. Maybe there's a day, maybe something happened, your car died. I don't know. I would still go to the gym. I'll just pull the car to the gym, but whatever. That's just me.
I like it. That's real discipline.
You just gotta do it. It's funny because in my life, like I had to learn that skill. I had to figure out how to go to the gym, and I didn't understand the correlation between going to the gym and my fitness, and the correlation between my business and job and how I showed up for people. I didn't quite understand that, but as I started building that habit, I realized I show up better for myself and for the people that I'm working with. And it's just such a night and day thing. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
absolutely.
So, is there anything that you would love to leave our audience with to help them along the way on their goals and their mindset, their fitness?
Yeah. One thing I would love to say, everybody's journey is different. So I've had a lot of conversations with people and they like to look at other people's careers. They look at their colleagues, they look at their classmates, and they're like, oh, well, this person's at this level and why I should be at that level and why haven't I reached that level? Everyone has different paths. I've talked about my path. I went from JP Morgan to Chevron to Amazon, Walmart, Netscope. That's not the typical path for cybersecurity, but that's been my path. Sometimes you have to take a step back to take 2 steps forward. Sometimes you may have to take a lateral step to move forward. But everyone's path is different. Make sure, like we said, put in the work, put in your time, and challenge yourself to learn as much as possible, to network as much as possible, And if you're doing your due diligence and putting your best foot forward, you'll see that incremental progress and you'll be able to achieve whatever goals, aspirations you set for yourself. But you have to understand everyone's path is different and enjoy the journey. Like that's part of the experience. People are already ready and they're like, oh, I want to be director, I want to be VP, I want to be people manager. Well, it takes time, and you have to put in the work. So as long as you understand that and you're willing to put in that work and effort, you'll be able to achieve anything.
Hell yeah, brother. I love how you said enjoy the journey. We definitely get caught up in trying to find the destination and trying to hop from step 1 to 50. But we just need to enjoy the character building and the journey that helps us go from 1 to 2 to 3 and just kind of slow down. I love that. Enjoy the journey. Last thing before we go, I ask everyone this. What does it mean to you to be a human being?
So I'd say to be a good human being, you have to help one another and give back. So what I've seen throughout my career, both in school and in the workplace, a lot of people have this competition mentality, like dog eat dog. I'm getting an A in this class. I'm not worried about you. I'm getting an A, or I'm getting the best rating at the end of the year. I'm getting a promotion. I'm not helping you be successful in your role. I'm focused on me and my role. And if you look at it as being a good human being and helping one another, we can all be successful. We can all get A's. We can all get high rankings in the job. We can all get promoted. So, in my mindset, being a good human being is helping one another. Don't feel like you have to compete with everybody else. We can work with each other and help each other achieve our goals. So that's part of being a good human being. And then from a philanthropy standpoint, just giving back, volunteering your time, like donating and donating to different organizations and volunteering for different nonprofits, finding ways that you can give back. That's a way of being a good human being and leaving an impact on the world, leaving your legacy. So I want to make sure people take that in consideration, collaborate more. You don't have to compete, and find
Yeah,
ways to give back.
I love that. Damn, very well said. Jolly good show. Man, I know I come across that a lot, especially in the cyber world, where there's a lot of vendors that are trying to compete with you, but they're like so inhumane about how they go about it. That's kind of the reason I started this podcast for that whole world too, so they can understand and have more information about it. You don't have to always be competing, like you said. You can compete, but in a humanistic way. Like remember that we're humans before our jobs, the money we make, before our race, color, gender, whatever. Just remember we're human beings before all. People want to reach out to you, well, how can they reach you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have my own website, so people can reach out to me on my website. It's Michael V is in Victor, michaelvmorgan.com. So feel free to go on my website. I have a contact me form, so you can send me a message and I'll receive it immediately. Like you said, I'm also on LinkedIn. If you search by my name, it's Michael Morgan PMP. I know I said I have the PMP certification, Project Management Professional. So if you search by my name, it's Michael Morgan PMP. If you search by URL, it's the LinkedIn / Michael V Morgan. I'm also on Instagram. On Instagram, I'm Michael.V.Morgan. So whether you reach out to me on my website, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, I'd love to hear from everybody. I'm here to help. I genuinely enjoy helping other people. I want to see everyone succeed. So feel free to connect with me. Feel free to reach out, and I'd love to speak with you further.
Hell yeah, brother. I'll actually put that down in the show notes to help them out.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Michael, it's been great having you on here today. Definitely love to have you back again.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me
Yeah,
as a guest.
you are very welcome, Michael. You have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
You did the same.